Hello, dear listener. This is a special half hour. Sit down with Nick Agule. Good morning and welcome to Agate Radio.
Good morning and good morning to our listeners. So my name is Nick Agule. I'm the group head at Citizens Charity Raffle and Victoria Travels.
You know, when people hear things like raffle, what is Charity Raffle really all about?
I will be speaking about these two entities, Citizens Charity Raffle and Victoria Travels. So starting with the Citizens Charity Raffle, as the name implies, Citizens Charity Raffle is citizens coming together in charity through raffle to raise funds for empowerment of our communities and individuals. So we do this in several ways. Basically, we raise funds by issuing raffle tickets, which cost 200 naira a ticket. And when we now get the money, we pull that money together and apply it in 4 different areas. The first area we apply it is to the federal government that licensed us to do what we are doing. So there's a percentage that goes back to the federal government through the National Lottery Trust Fund, which is a charity operated by the federal government itself. The second area we apply your 200 naira is to create jobs. So we have people that we have employed that are working in our offices. We also have retailers who are issuing our tickets. All these people are making money as a means of livelihood. The third area we deploy your 200 naira is to individual empowerment of our citizens to lift them out of poverty. And that is why we are operating these millionaire maker draws. Our intent is to make Nigerians millionaires one at a time. So we run the draws to select those who will be the beneficiaries, and the draw process is very transparent. It's run on the NTA broadcast live, and the next draw will actually be on the 23rd of December, 8 a.m. You tune into any NTA station. You are going to watch us live as we make the draws to select the Nigerians that we are going to lift out of poverty through the draws. And the last portion of your 200 naira goes to the execution of sustainable development projects in our communities. And with that, we plan that we're going to have projects in all the areas that impact on community life. So there will be water projects, electricity projects, agriculture, healthcare, education, infrastructure, and all of those. And very soon, you will begin to see these projects spring up in our communities, and that will be the power of your 200 naira. So basically, in a nutshell, that is what Citizens Charity Raffle is about. It's about citizens pulling together their 200 nairas, which ordinarily we not buy them much, but once we pull the 200 nairas from a large section of the population, it becomes big enough money for us to be able to apply to these 4 areas that I have described.
Is Citizens Charity Raffle registered? And what is the status of the Charity Raffle? Because most of the times people have had things that look like this. Not exactly, I'm not saying exactly like this. So is it registered, and how can people verify that this is accredited by the government, like you said?
Citizens Charity Raffle is fully registered by first the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria, where we have a registration certificate, and we also have obtained an operational license from the federal government through the National Lottery Regulatory Commission. So we have a 10-year license that begins from 2023 to 2033 and is renewable. So we are fully legit, we are registered and empowered by the federal government to do what we are doing in all the 36 states in Nigeria, plus the FCT. And under the license regime, we have had 3 draws already. So we had a draw on the 30th of September. The second one was on the 28th of October. And then in this December, on the 3rd of December, we had a draw. And now at all these draws, we have federal officials come to attend and witness to give credence to the fact that we are registered by the federal government, and also to ensure that there's transparency and accountability in the draw process, so that whoever donates their 200 naira will stand an equal chance to be selected for financial empowerment.
You know, that's beautiful. But folks at home would say, as Nigerians, we ask questions and we doubt everything, because our eye, they always shine, they always open. People will say, not them. How do you counter that argument? Because you said it is transparent. What are some of the fail-safe measures in place to ensure that it is not an insider arrangement for folks that we know to win money that has been aggregated?
Very good question. And I believe that a lot of our viewers are right to be skeptical, because a lot of scams have happened in Nigeria and people have got their fingers burnt. So the viewers are very much in place to think like that. Now, what we do to bring transparency to our draw processes, first of all, the draw process is broadcast live on Nigeria's national television station, the NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority. And it's a network program, meaning anywhere you tune to an NTA station at 8 o'clock on a draw date, like the forthcoming draw is on the 23rd of December, a Saturday, you are going to watch us live. So we took ourselves to live television so that everybody will see what we are doing. This is not a question of you donated your 200 naira by getting a ticket and then you don't know how those who were selected as beneficiaries emerged. No, we are on live TV. And also, by being on the NTA is a validation of our legitimacy, because the Nigerian Television Authority is a government-owned TV station. They will have nothing to do with scammers. Absolutely nothing. So for them to accept us and have been carrying our broadcast, which are also witnessed by the federal officials, should give some comfort to Nigerians who are donating that indeed, we are not only legitimate, but we are also transparent in what we're doing.
How do I get access to the tickets? Can I buy 1,000 tickets? How does it work? What are the chances that if I buy my tickets, I win? Just explain the process to us.
Very good questions. So, how to get a ticket is through our portal. You can only buy a ticket online. So, I will explain the process. So, the first process is that you access our website, which is www.citizensraffle.org.
That is CITIZENSRAFFLE.org.
Very correct. That is our ticketing portal. Once you access the portal, it's a very simple process for you to get a ticket. It's all explained there. But in case you have a problem in acquiring your ticket online, we have our help desk that is there for you, and you can call them on 0188 70019. I'll take that number again. Our help desk number is 0188 70019. And our help desk officers will put you through getting a ticket, or they can actually issue a ticket for you if you transfer money to the foundation's account. And if you don't want to call, you can also WhatsApp them. And the WhatsApp number is 0705 827 0040. I'll take the WhatsApp number again. It's 0705 827 0040. Also, if you don't have access to the online, or you don't want to get your tickets online, or you don't even want to make a call or send a WhatsApp message, we have a team of retailers nationwide that you can call and they can issue you a ticket. You can even give them cash and they can issue you a ticket. And talking about transparency, when you are buying your ticket, we offer you 52 letters of the alphabet. That is A to Z twice. So A to Z is 26 letters. So another A to Z, 26 letters. So what you're going to have is, you're going to have double A, double B to double Z. Out of these 52 letters of the alphabet, you are expected to choose 6. Any 6. If you don't want to choose, the computer can choose for you, but you must have to get 6 of them selected. And that becomes your ticket code. So what happens on the draw's date is that we put those 52 letters in a machine, and the machine randomly selects 6 of them. You will see it live on TV that there's no human intervention. And if the 6 that the machine selects are the 6 that you selected when you were getting your ticket, you know you are in the money. So that is how transparent it is. It's not like a raffle draw where you're not even sure if your ticket stub is in the basket that they are turning, or if there is some games in terms of picking that ticket. We're very transparent in what we are doing.
You spoke about the fact that the foundation would engage in some community projects. Now let's talk about the naming convention of the concern itself. Citizens Charity Raffle. Those 2 words, Charity Raffle. What's the relationship between the two?
I think you are touching on something very important. We have also looked at it again, and we are saying, if our name carries raffle, does it fully describe what we're doing? And we're saying possibly not. because raffle is just one of the ways that we use in raising funds for our charitable causes. So we are actually on a rebranding project, and in the new year, we'll perhaps come up with a new name that fully describes what we're doing. Because as a foundation, we raise money from this raffle. We also raise money from donations by individuals, either in a generic way or to specific projects. And we also receive donations in kind, and we also receive donations of people's time and talent through volunteering. So that's the full spectrum of what we do, and raffle is just part of it. So having raffle on our name, we are saying, doesn't actually fully describe who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. So watch out for possibly a new name in the new year, so that it will be more encompassing and holistic of our identity.
Now let's talk about what folks would really be interested in, because some will say, okay, my 200, I'm not giving it because I want to win money. For some of us, like I know a few persons who have, participated in the draws, and they were not looking forward to winning anything. They just felt like, okay, here is an organization that I can drop my 200, and if we aggregate 1 million persons doing that, we'll raise enough money, and if part of it is, given as a prize to 1 or 2 persons, the rest can be deployed towards charitable projects. Am I correct?
Very correct. That's absolutely what it is that we stand for. So, like we do say, people shouldn't come and put in big money into this scheme. Don't go and take money that
It's not a betting scheme.
No, it's not a gambling scheme.
It's not MMM, is it?
Exactly. So don't go and bring money that you have earmarked for some activity. For instance, say your school fees or money that you have kept for your business or anything like that. We just want you to bring your 200. So like you rightly described, if 1 million Nigerians out of the 100 million that are capable of buying a ticket, because you have to be 18 years and above by the law setting us up to be able to buy a ticket. And we reckon that out of 200 million Nigerians, about 100 million of them should be 18 and above. If just 1% of those, which is 1 million Nigerians, put their 200 naira together, that is 200 million. So that is the kind of thing we are dealing with. We are dealing with a crowdfunding scheme.
Okay.
So it's not a gambling thing that you go and bring plenty money and be putting inside. No. In fact, we just made an award of 500,000 to a beneficiary 2 days ago, and he said he only bought 2 tickets with 400 naira. And then and we've lifted him out of poverty, he and his family. That is just the whole thing, that all of us cannot remain in poverty if we come together and we're lifting ourselves one after the other out of poverty, while at the same time executing community projects that all of us will benefit from. Then this is a very laudable and worthy scheme.
How does the charity raffle determine what projects to do? You mentioned some areas, but how do you determine that, okay, for now we're doing this? And how do you determine which community to do it at?
That's a very fantastic question. Absolutely very top on the money question. So we do that by having a charity board. So we have a charity board that is constituted by men and women of goodwill, excellent minds, professionals and technocrats who will receive applications from communities, individuals, other charities, organizations and all of that, requesting for either counterpart funding or full funding for the project. And then this charity board is going to analyze all these applications and rank them. And from that process, we're now going to select the communities that will benefit from those projects. So that is the process to be able to identify the projects that we are going to be supporting. And I just wanted to say that we are operating under a license now. We actually started to operate in 2019 under a permit. And we got a permit for 1 year, which was truncated by COVID in 2020. However, even within that short time, we were able to partner with the Catholic Diocese of Boko. And we roofed a school in a place called Selagi. It was an unknown place, but a popular priest has been transferred there recently, so a lot of people now know about it. But Selagi is in the middle of nowhere. They had this. The church was able to build a school, but they couldn't roof it, so we roofed it together with them. And children are there now attending school. So that is the kind of projects that you will start seeing through these efforts.
Okay, so your charity projects are usually targeted to the unreached.
Yes, exactly. So, on that ranking criteria we spoke about, we're looking at the availability of that service. So, for instance, if we're looking at investing or building a hospital, we're not going to look at a place like Makudi, where you already have hospitals. We're going to go to a place where they have no healthcare facility of any kind whatsoever. That is the kind of thing. So the ranking is going to be done
where the project will make the greatest impact.
Thank you very much. That is absolutely correct. So our motto is changing lives. We just want to change lives.
Well, let's move over and segue into Victoria Travels. Am I right?
Yes.
What services does this travel company offer that would be a distinguishing factor between it and other transport companies that exist in this environment?
Thank you very much. So Victoria Travels' first bus set off from Makudi to Abuja on the 8th of December 2021. So we just recently celebrated our 2 years of existence, and Victoria Travels brought something totally different to the transportation landscape in Benue and in Nigeria, hopefully with time. And we looked at all the challenges that are faced by transporters currently and travelers as well. So we designed a transportation scheme that took care of those challenges. So first and foremost, we use either new buses or very good buses that are strong technically, and the buses are always air conditioned, so we take people in air conditioning, and then the people manning the buses, we also took care of that. We recruit them through a rigorous, transparent process that involves 4 stages, and we do that in collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Commission. So the people we recruit to man the buses, are very good people, as attested to by those who have used our services. And we also have bus stations in decent places, like in Makudi here. Our bus station is at the Victoria Travels complex, which is perhaps the best office complex in Nigeria. That's what we believe should be the idea of having a bus station. So we have a lounge, upstairs, air conditioned with our passengers.
Okay, like an airport.
Exactly. So we actually deliver services that are akin to like airports. And we also took care of prompt departures. You first can book your travel online in the comfort of your home or wherever you are, and at the set time that you booked your travel, you come to the bus station, you board the bus, and the bus will start heading to your destination. So what we have succeeded in doing in the past 2 years is to grow the fleet of our buses from 1 bus that we started with on the 8th of December to nearly 50 buses now. And it would have been much more if not that we actually have put a hold on taking in new buses so that we can develop new routes before we now start. Also, we believe and say we are setting the standards for others to follow. And we are pleased to note that since Victoria Travels has been operating in the past 2 years, other investors have seen what we are doing and have also come into the sector, bringing in their money and setting up similar companies offering the same type of services that Victoria Travels is offering. And we can count up to about 5 or 6 of these companies that have come up. And for us, it's a thing of joy to see that this is happening, because we believe that the more operators that join the sector offering the same standard of services that we are offering.
Yeah, I saw something interesting. Sorry to butt into your train of thoughts, but I just wanted to comment on what you're saying. I saw something interesting on Facebook. I saw that you in particular share the flyer of what I would consider a competitor or a rival company, a new one.
Yes.
What's the rationale behind that? In normal business, is dog eat dog.
Yes. Thank you very much. So we actually at Victoria Travels don't consider ourselves like a business. I think we look at ourselves as a social enterprise.
Okay.
So more on the side of
service provision.
Exactly. That we're more looking at, because the promoters of Victoria Travels saw the sufferings of travelers on Nigerian roads. So what we are trying to do now is that we are trying to set the stage and say, look, transportation can be done in the 21st century way. It doesn't have to be the usual thing that we see, rowdy motor parks, very dirty, with people dragging you up and down, vehicles that are not serviceable, drivers you are not sure of them, and all of that. So we're taking all that and setting new standards, and we're actually encouraging people to come in on those new standards, because what we have started to us is a movement. And when you start a movement, you need collaborators, you need partners. You can't do it alone. And I do give the example, for instance, that we had these old generation banks, and then when the new generation banks came, Zenith Bank alone couldn't have done it.
Yes.
So Zenith Bank needed the GTs, the Access Banks, and the Fidelities to form a big force that now forced the hands of the old banks, the First Banks and the Union Bank, to now also start raising their standards. And that's what we're looking for in the transportation sector. And we're actually seeing the fruits of these efforts coming through, because very recently I also saw on Facebook that one of the transporters, one of the older operators, have also gone online. So
we will not mention names.
Exactly. We'll tell them that, look, you can do this, but you will not even understand. On the net, when the very first of the transporters came on board, a lot of people thought, we'll have to start this dog fight. And unfortunately, they didn't know what we were looking for, because we set out to say we are going to act as collaborators. So we reached out to them. We had a meeting. We welcomed them. And we say, look, we're here to also help you come on stream. And they requested for technology support. And we offered them our IT officer, who was part of the building of their site. Even this other older transportation, our IT officer is part of getting their site ready. So we actually want every Benue citizen and eventually Nigerian to travel under this kind of comfort and safety. So our idea is that we're actually, helping the others to lift them up from where they are to the new standards that we are setting.
In other words, you are building the market.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Okay, someone is listening right now thinking, I want to travel to Abuja, but okay, they say they have AC, their drivers are well behaved, their parks are serene. Wouldn't their fares be expensive? This one that they're talking about, lounge, I hope it's not going to be equivalent to an air ticket. Affordability.
I think people at home, they have every right to think like that, because the kind of premium services that we're describing should attract premium fares. But because we didn't want to exclude any segment of society from enjoying the services that we're offering, our fares are actually the market fares. The same fares you go to any other place and pay. We just want you to come and have this enjoyment. And we're so happy that not only are we attracting people who ordinarily don't have their cars of their own, we are also attracting a large proportion of the population that already have their cars.
Yes.
So we are now seeing people park their cars.
Yeah, that's true, because if I own a car and I need to travel to Abuja, and maybe I have a meeting by 12 and you are departing at 7, and I calculate that around 11:30 I should be in that office, I don't need to drive myself to Abuja.
Exactly.
If your car has AC, I can just chillax, in the words of Gen Z, and or either Netflix and chill and arrive in Abuja fresh and fit.
Exactly. That is absolutely, like ladies do say, when you travel with Victoria Travels, you arrive with your hair intact. Because there's no wind blowing against
your wig or weave-on will not shift.
Exactly. It's just going to be the same, man. And what you have said is actually true. First and foremost, imagine 600 plus, almost 700 plus per liter fuel. Why do you have to burn that and travel alone in your car, or two people in your car to Abuja? You just come and pay, like the fare from here to Abuja now is 9,000. You pay 9,000, take a seat, and you are going to sit on your seat alone with a seat belt. So this is not like cramping you in like sardines, packing you in like logs of wood. Every seat in a Victoria bus is independent.
And if I need to come back home from maybe Abuja for Christmas, or leave Makurdi for Abuja or Lagos, I can book now and pay the fare now, not that it will increase by Christmas. This is
absolutely
a PSA.
You have also touched on something very important, and which is actually, you are giving the idea now to people about what needs to happen. Yes, Christmas season, if you want to travel during the Christmas season into the new year, it's better you book your trips now on the fares that are existing now, because inevitably the fares are going to increase in the run-up to Christmas. The reason is this, and we experienced this. In our first year, in 2021, December, we say we're not increasing fares. And then we discovered that, the way the industry is operating, if you don't increase fares, you can't run. Why? Because passengers will be in Abuja, but there will be no passengers in the Makurdi end. So if you bring passengers from Abuja, you have to run the buses empty back to Abuja. So we discovered that in 2021 the hard way. So in 2022, we actually had a fuel surcharge on the Abuja end before Christmas, so that the passengers in Abuja were paying a fuel surcharge to enable us return the buses empty, fuel the buses, and return them empty to them.
And pick others.
And pick them up, exactly. And then when it was the return time in January, the fuel surcharge was reversed to the Makurdi end. So that is the only way that we can operate. If any transporter doesn't increase fares to be able to take care of the fuel to drive empty buses back, you're not going to succeed. So please, if you want to travel, as our host has given you the magic, just go now and book your tickets.
Book on time,
exactly.
Early to bed, early to rise. Now, our time is fast spent, almost up. But one final question. Can you help tell us the services that this travel company offers besides ferrying people from one place to the other? Because do you offer things like courier, cargo, drop shipping and all that?
Yes, exactly. So we're actually a company that is offering, we plan, it's on our plan to offer all sorts of services within the transportation sector. But currently, we are offering passenger services with Victoria Bus, and we're also offering cargo services with Victoria Cargo. So if you have something you want to send, you can come to us. And I also want to tell our viewers that apart from coming to our bus stations, which in Makurdi here is at the Victoria Auto Retail Complex, in Abuja is at Trinity Gardens in Area 3. So Trinity Gardens and Benue Links are separated by the shopping complex. So that is how close we are. And in Jos, we also have our bus stations at Jenny Petrol Station, at Building Materials in Bukuru. We also have it at Tony Mas Petrol Station, at Old Airport Roundabout. We also have bus stations in Maraba. You can book your trip to Maraba. We also run from Boko to Abuja. And our bus station in Boko is at the CWO Plaza at Gado Junction. And you can also call in to book your tickets. You can call our numbers 0706 316 7634. I take that number again. Is 0706 316 7634. We have an alternative number, 0902 631 4495. I call that again, 0902 631 4495. You can also book your trip online at www.victoriatravels.com.ng. But I would like to inform our listeners that the site is actually undergoing maintenance now, so you probably will not be able to book your ride on the site. But if you access the site, victoriatravels.com.ng, the numbers for you to call and make a booking will also be displayed there. We hope to get the site back on shortly.
Thank you so much, Nick Agule. It has been interesting talking to you about Citizens Raffle Draw, soon to be rebranded, and Victoria Travels. Hope to have you one of these days again.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the whole team at Agate Radio. You are doing a very good job. Well done to all that you are doing.
Thank you.